This is Charmaine Ironside, and as the title of the video says, I want to tell you about the best diet. So unfortunately, that's a mythical thing and it does not exist. So bear with me. That doesn't mean you can't lose weight. That doesn't mean, all hope is lost. I just want you to know that if you've been searching for the diet to end all diets, it does not exist. And unfortunately, that might be a wah-wah disappointment moment, but the best part about that is that you don't have to diet anymore. You don't have to restrict yourself. You don't have to avoid the foods you love. You don't have to have a constant fear and stress around food. So if you can get the idea that diets don't work and never have and never will into your mind, that's going to be step one. 95% of dieters gain all the weight they lost back plus more within 2 years. So that's not really a great statistic, and I think that's a good enough reason to ditch diets from your vocabulary. And there's tons of reasons why diets don't work. They damage your metabolism, they cause you to restrict, which leads to always a binge, because human nature is not to restrict ourselves. There's tons of other reasons. I made a big list, but diets don't teach you how to trust yourself and what really good eating is. They just tell you what to eat. Other things, they're just not real. They're not real life, and when life gets crazy and stressful, we always revert back to our old way of eating. So if we can make our normal way of eating healthier, that is going to be a big key to success. Loving and trusting yourself is the key to a happy life, and if you're constantly dieting, you're telling your body that you can't trust it, and that is also not too great. Now, the biggest reason that I believe diets don't work is because they're almost like you're putting a band-aid on a problem that's a lot deeper. So, a lot of people, the reason that they hold excess weight isn't just what they eat, it's actually the reasons why they're eating. So maybe there's just old habits that need to be broken that are keeping them from their weight loss. Maybe there's reasons like emotional reasons like sadness, anger, embarrassment, shame. There's so many reasons, Total exhaustion leads to overeating, so maybe there's some emotional reasons that are causing overeating. Another thing is having a life that you don't love, so you have this void that you're trying to fill with food all the time. That's a huge, huge reason why people overeat and actually end up ruining their results. And then the last reason is a lack of self-belief. So if you don't believe you deserve a happier, healthier life and body, you're always going to find a way of sabotaging yourself. So those are a few reasons why diets don't work. Now, some awesome things you can do to take control of your own fat loss journey, and yeah, I could talk all day about healthy eating and what you can eat, but I want to focus more on the deep-rooted reasons why you eat. So if you're eating for emotional reasons, the best thing you can do is breathe. So before a big if you're going to have a big pig out because you had a really crappy, stressful day at work, take a few deep breaths and ask yourself, why am I about to eat this feast that normally I wouldn't eat? And you'll start to realize, it's because I'm so stressed about work and all I need is like a massage, or all I need is to go for a walk, or all I need is to do 10 minutes of deep breathing, and then this urgency to want to eat everything in sight will start to dissipate and I'll be able to make better choices. So that's a really great thing. Just learn to breathe and be okay. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, because if you're okay to breathe into discomfort, it actually starts to dissipate. So you won't need that band-aid solution of eating everything in sight to get rid of the discomfort, because it will go away on its own, which is awesome. So if you're eating to fill a void, what I really recommend is taking some time to set some goals for your life. Figure out why you wake up in the morning, and if you don't wake up for a reason in the morning, you need to stop and figure out why. When I wake up in the morning, my feet hit the ground and I am excited about my day, and that makes living worthwhile. So if you can't figure out what makes life worth living for you, it's time to sit down, go back to basics, reflect on what things bring you joy and bring you to life, and those will be some really, really, really important things to prioritize in your life. So other reasons, old habits, lots of us, we just eat dessert because we always ate dessert when we were kids growing up. Or, we always eat at a certain time even when we're not hungry. So those are some old habits that are probably not serving you in your fat loss journey, and you can break them. You have to figure out why you're doing them. So what's the cue? Maybe it's a time of day. Maybe it's a location you're in. Maybe it's a person you're around. Maybe it's a way that you're feeling. And you have to figure out also the reward. Why are you doing that habit? So for me, it's like the cue is dinner ends and I want dessert because I've always had dessert after dinner. So that's the cue. The reward is that yummy tasting sweet dessert. So the habit itself is eating dessert, and if I can figure out another habit to replace it with, I can be successful. So what I've done recently is I'll have tea with some honey instead of dessert, and that actually satisfies me. So going cold turkey never works. Never has, never will. Research shows it again and again. If you try to quit smoking cold turkey, if you just try to quit eating your favorite things cold turkey, any habit you try to break, you have to replace it with something that's still going to give you some satisfaction. So that's just a quick, tutorial on how to kind of overcome some reasons for eating that are not physically derived. And I know for me, it wasn't about what I was eating. I knew what to eat. I knew the best choices. I took tons of courses in university to learn how to nourish my body and all about nutrition. But you know what? I knew it all, but I was still making other choices, and I saw my clients year after year yo-yo weight loss and gain. They were exercising, they were eating pretty well, and they couldn't figure out why they weren't losing weight or why they kept going in this yo-yo, and it was because there was deeper reasons that they weren't addressing. So that's where my passion came in. I wanted to figure out why people were sabotaging their results, why people were doing the yo-yo, why I was doing the yo-yo. And so I spent a couple years really diving deep, taking a ton of courses, educating myself and practicing different tools and techniques on myself. And I actually came up with a formula. So it's basically how to overcome those tendencies to eat when you're not hungry, and how to eat more mindfully, how to be more present around your food, how to deal with difficult emotions instead of stuffing them down with food. And all of these things kind of became my way of eating and my way of living that helped me lose weight. So I actually lost 40 pounds in about 8 months, and it was nothing to do with what I was eating. It was all to do with up here and changing some of those mental habitual reasons for eating. So I love to share that with people. I teach a course. It's called Freedom and Fat Loss, or Fat Loss and Freedom. And it's just to teach you how to have freedom around your food choices and how to lose weight at the same time. And it's all about learning how to feel good around food and not have to have it be a source of stress, because life is too short to be stressed around food, considering that a huge part of our life is food, thinking about food, preparing food, planning our next meal. And so why would you want that to be a source of stress? So let me know if you want more info about my awesome course. It's a 4-week course. It dives into those deeper reasons about eating, and we talk a little bit about what to eat, but we talk more about why you eat and how you eat. It's an awesome course. Check out the info below if you want to know more, and I look forward to having you in my next course. See you later.